And we're back. We've got some startling developments regarding Michael Cohen, plus tensions are flaring up on multiple fronts across the globe. As Russia antagonizes Ukraine, migrants reach the southern U.S. border, and British forces encounter resistance in Afghanistan. We've got the latest details on those events, and of course, you'll be getting all the campus news. From WHIP, I'm Tony Pearson, and this is your WHIP Weekly News Crackdown. CNN has reported that Michael Cohen, President Trump's former personal lawyer, has pled guilty to making false statements to Congress regarding Trump's business dealings in Russia. Specifically, he said that discussions regarding a Trump property in Moscow were finished just before the Iowa caucus in January 2016. This latest guilty plea reveals that this statement was a lie and that those discussions actually continued well into the election. In other words, it appears that the Trump campaign was engaged in business dealings with Russia during an election in which Russia interfered to help the Trump campaign. This is potentially a major conflict of interest, especially given the efforts made by members of the campaign to obscure that these talks happened. This latest inconsistency, in addition to past inconsistencies, which we talked about in a previous episode, adds to concerns that the campaign may have made a deal involving Russia's interference in the 2016 election. Cohen was Trump's longtime business associate, having served as an executive on multiple Trump businesses. When asked about the guilty plea, Trump responded by saying Cohen was, quote, very weak. He was convicted with a fairly long-term sentence with things unrelated to the Trump organization. What he's trying to do is get a reduced sentence, end quote. Trump is referring to Cohen's convictions on 8 counts of campaign finance violations, tax fraud, and bank fraud earlier this year. His sentencing will take place on December 12th. On Wednesday, President Petro Poroshenko of Ukraine imposed martial law. This comes after Russian ships fired at and seized several Ukrainian vessels in the Black Sea on Sunday. At least 3 Ukrainian sailors were wounded. Both countries had agreed to share the sea as part of a 2003 treaty. But relations between Russia and Ukraine have been poor since the former's annexation of the Crimean Peninsula. Recently, tensions have escalated due to Russia's decision to build a bridge across the Kerch Strait. Ukraine has accused Russia of deliberately preventing ships from going through the strait. President Putin has responded to Ukraine's protests by saying that the conflict in the Black Sea was staged by President Poroshenko in an attempt to boost his ratings for the 2019 election. On Sunday, November 25th, American Border Patrol agents shot tear gas at Central American migrants at the U.S.-Mexico border. Migrants attempted to breach barriers after a march in Tijuana, protesting the slow pace at which the U.S. has been processing asylum claims, about 100 a day for a 5,000-strong group. President Trump defended the Border Patrol agents, saying, quote, here's the bottom line. Nobody's coming into our country unless they come in legally, end quote. The move has faced harsh criticism as the groups targeted with tear gas have contained children. One widely circulated photograph depicts a woman dragging 2 of her daughters in t-shirts and diapers while running from the gas. On Wednesday, the Taliban assaulted a British compound with a car bomb and gunmen in Kabul, Afghanistan. The explosion took place on the eastern outskirts of Kabul, near the international airport and a residential area for foreign aid workers. At least 10 people have died as a result, and 19 more have been injured. This attack was committed mere hours after President Ghani expressed a renewed desire to negotiate with the Taliban, outlining a comprehensive negotiation plan to try and stop the civil war. The Taliban have repeatedly expressed that they will only negotiate with U.S. officials to end the war. Hey, remember how Paul Manafort, Trump's ex-campaign manager, struck a plea deal with investigators? Well, he is now accused of violating that deal with Robert Mueller's Russia investigation. He allegedly lied to federal agents about a variety of topics concerning the investigation, according to USA Today. This breach in the agreement could add more prison time to Manafort's fraud sentence if the allegations are proven to be true. Manafort was considered to be a star witness for the Mueller investigation, as he was involved with the Trump campaign as chairman during the summer of 2016. By removing him as a witness, Mueller must be certain that Manafort has been lying so pervasively that his testimony would be inadmissible in a court of law. Manafort was convicted of 8 felony counts of fraud this past August. And now for some campus news. According to the Temple News, Temple University formally removed Alpha Epsilon Pi's chapter from the school after a months-long investigation into violations of the university conduct policies. The investigation was concluded on October 5th and established that A Pi violated alcohol and drug policies and social event policies. The fraternity was then officially removed from its location on the corner of Broad and Norris. Multiple reports of excessive alcohol and drug use, as well as sexual misconduct and sexual assault, spurred Temple police to investigate the fraternity. Former chapter president Ari Goldstein, who was arrested on sexual assault charges, could be seen in trial as early as next year. Looking for something to do around campus? The Temple University's Swinging Voices and Swinging Owls will be putting on a show at the Temple Performing Arts Center at 7:30 p.m. on Monday, December 3rd. A World AIDS Day panel will be held in room 200 AB of the Howard Giddes Student Center on Tuesday, December 4th from 6:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. This panel will examine Temple University's role in confronting the HIV/AIDS crisis, as well as opportunities for advocacy. The annual holiday book sale will be hosted by the Temple University Press in Mitten Hall on Wednesday, December 5th, Thursday, December 6th, and Friday, December 7th. If you're looking for some holiday gift ideas, this is the perfect place to find something. That's all the time we have for today. Tune in at this time next week for more of the news you care about. From WHIP, I'm Tony Pearson, and this has been your WHIP Weekly News Crackdown. That's not what the script said.